Your local dedicated experts, providing top-notch lawn care services and transforming your outdoor space. Expert mowing and trimming, precision edging and blowing, irrigation solutions, hardscaping designs, and even low-maintenance artificial turf. Community Landscaping, your full-service landscape design and maintenance company in Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, and 30A. Call Community Landscaping for a free quote, 850-704-5267.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. Just $41.99 a month. Cut the cord, not the fun. To get Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click the Lucid TV logo.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually the same from one title company to the next? So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Your home for the College Football National Championship. Touchdown! WGSX Lynn Haven, WPLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Powered by Panama City Toyota. Get ready. Let's go! The Afternoon Underdogs are on the air.
Live and local.
Weekdays from 4 till 6.
This thing is going to be a financial and cultural disaster.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Whopper, 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 whopper.
The Afternoon Underdogs are on the air. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Keep making noise! Keep making noise! Yeah!
What's going on with you, Northwest Florida? Hopefully by this time tomorrow afternoon, we're frozen in snow, Florida. Coach Brian Haddad, David Hayes, James Fife here, the Afternoon Underdogs. You're tuned in to ESPN Northwest Florida. How you feeling about it, Coach Brian? You want to see some snow? You want to get in the pool over there at Frank Brown with some flurries falling?
Thought I moved to Florida.
Isn't it a heated pool, though?
Yeah, but not that much.
Well, it's not going to be frozen at least.
And when you still get out, it's still 30-something degrees outside.
Actually, Frank Brown, because of the way it's done and the size of the pool, it actually does take a while to heat it. So what they do, anytime it falls below 38, Frank Brown's closed. So it won't be open, but... my guess is
they should start anytime it's like underneath 65. Just have that thing heated and ready to go.
I would imagine Coach Berdishaw will find a way to have them going out at Mosley though. So because that pool.
So they'll still swim tomorrow?
Possibly.
That's nuts.
We're going to go swimming, and then in the afternoon, we'll just have some ice skating.
Look, there was an old saying in swimming, he's just twisted enough to be really good at this.
Yeah.
We're not right in the head.
Yeah, you can't be, not to be dealing with the fluctuations of the weather. One thing, I
don't know. Folks out there, don't show up for practice on what I say. I have no idea. But
I tell you what, man, it would be nice in one of these next couple of days. Like, let's just say that that Wednesday, the bridge is closed, so I'm not able to make it over here to work. I'm going to go over there to the spring then and jump in there.
Well, see, I was telling you before we went on, when the ice storm that was about 2013 or 14, I think it was 2014. We were able to use the Mosley pool, and I had the kids go swim, but because I lived out here and the bridges were closed, I couldn't get over there, so I made an assistant go do it, and he was not very happy with me that day.
Yeah. But that was not your fault, though. You can't control when those bridges. So pretty much, if it's icy, they're going to shut down the Hathaway, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Or as my buddy Liam calls it, the Hathaway Bridge.
Yeah, absolutely. They have precedent. They will do that because that would be, it's a lot nicer now than it was. But they would not have that one open during the ice. So
I could just see that becoming like this really great crash up derby. We should just turn on. Just let the people go. we should turn the cameras on and, maybe make it a pay-per-view.
They're already making it tough enough for you to get house insurance. Now they're going to
have a live stream with the Benny Hill theme playing just in loop.
The yakety sax just going. I love it.
That would be perfect. Again, this is ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 here in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. At 5 o'clock, starting off hour number 2, we're going to be diving into our best and worst of the weekend. So if you have a best and a worst, or just one or the other, you can text those in to 850-215-6290. That is also the very same number to call right here on our air tonight. After our show, we're going to get you to the coverage for the national championship between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And the kick will be at 6:30 tonight, more than likely closer to about 6:38, 6:40. You know how these national championship goes. But yeah, looking forward to that game. Should be a great one. It's our final college football game of the 2024 season. And then we've got 3 NFL games left, not including, obviously, the great flag football game of the Pro Bowl. Coach Ryan.
Hey, we're gonna see Olympians be playing that here pretty soon.
Yeah, we are, which will be a little... You think it's going to be NFL athletes, or you think it'll be guys who have been playing Olympic flag football for years now?
I think I probably won't watch either way.
I've watched a little bit of flag football along the way. Not adults playing it, though. It's more of the high school level, youth level. Definitely the youth level because I've been coaching it. But it's got its intrigue. I don't think that I could ever watch it as, like, if tackle football were to turn to flag football, I'm out.
I mean, it's already there for when Patrick Mahomes is on the field.
Oh, come on, man. That's a different type of flag football. They're throwing the flags instead of pulling the flags.
Well played, sir.
Oh, man. Let's just start right there. We do have Steve Barnes coming up at 4:20 this afternoon. We'll have the PCB Hobby take over with us at 5:20. And Coach Andy Siegel is also going to join us at some point in time this afternoon. So that'll be a lot of fun getting Coach Brian Haddad and Coach Siegel. I'm just going to sit back and say a couple of words and then let you guys go back and forth. We do have some sort of breaking news. Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, is now the Bears head coach. What do you think about this move on behalf of the Chicago Bears? Is this the right move? This is the guy that they wanted a few years ago. Ben Johnson wasn't quite ready to take over that role. Now he's ready. The Lions offense sputtered a little bit. Not that it's his fault. They've had a lot of injuries, primarily on the defensive side of the ball. Jared Goff, 3 interceptions, I believe, in that game against the Commanders. And the Commanders, wow, what a crazy game that was, and what a crazy finish for the Commanders to be able to finish it off 45-31. What do you think about this move here for the Bears?
I like it for the Bears because obviously, this day and age offense is what you're looking for. And, you've got a good, young quarterback there. You've got some wide receiver weapons. If you're the Bears going out and getting somebody like that who's got a proven record, he had a wonderful offense this year. He really did. And what I'm a little more surprised about is just generally, it didn't seem like you used to see as many moves within the division. For him, I get it because it's a chance to be a head coach, but staying in the division is going to be tough. That's kind of a hard one there where you're a, top level, OC, and now you're going to be playing, the team, for Detroit. That one's going to be difficult, but good for him, good for the Bears. And, good luck for the Lions. I mean, they got a lot of weapons, so they're going to certainly be able to attract top-level talent. But getting somebody to replace Ben Johnson might be a lot tougher than people think. I think a lot of people think it was just, anybody can do that with those players. I'm not. We'll have to see. But I am interested to see how he's going to do, as Caleb? Just as a head coach. It is different. Yeah. It's very different. You have a lot more responsibilities and things that can distract your attention, especially when you have a young quarterback that you're going to be mentoring. So we'll have to see how he adapts to the new role.
I know Bears fans are happy about it, specifically Max Delyden. He was stoked. This is a guy he's had his eye on for a while. James, what are your thoughts here on Ben Johnson being the new head coach of the Chicago Bears?
Well, he needs to go back and watch some tapes of Matt Eberflus So that way he knows
Don't do that.
exactly what not to do.
Here's when you take timeouts.
Timeouts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the NFL, it is a pendulum right now is swinging so hard to the offense. And a lot of teams are buying into it, and you might as well because it is an offensive game now. If you look at the rule changes we've had, more for the offense to get more offensive points. I like it. I'm a little bit worried because it is a move within division, so you're going to have to see the Lions twice next year, and they know your book. So a little bit difficult, but it's going to be a different team, different weapons, so he'll throw something different out there. He's just kind of has to, or he's not going to survive long as a head coach.
It just seems like, they're going with the splash hire technique. Now, they did interview Eddie George. I was a little intrigued by that. I don't think that, his track record at Tennessee State, I don't think that that's the next move is from Tennessee State to the NFL. I would like to see him maybe get somewhere in Division I football or Power 5 football, Power 4 football, see what Eddie George could do at that level before he gets a crack at the NFL. But him being an NFL guy, you never know how that would work out. But Ben Johnson, we'll see. I think it's a tough place to win. The Vikings, they've got some decisions to make to see where they're going to be, what they're going to be looking like for 2025. Are they going to be able to replicate the success that they had here in 2024? The Detroit Lions, we've got a couple of questions about them, but obviously, they're primed and poised to continue running that division. And then the Packers are right there with them as well. So it's going to be a tough division to just come in and make things happen. But we saw the Commanders. I mean, they, 1 year under Dan Quinn and having the quarterback greatness that Jaden Daniels has been this year, they went from, 4-13 to they didn't have 14 wins. What were they, 12-5? Yeah, 12-5. Pretty daggum impressive. And they're in the NFC Championship taking on the Philadelphia Eagles for the third time this year. The Chiefs got a win over the Texans, 23-14. Not very surprising there. There was a late safety taken by the Chiefs punter to push that game a little bit closer, and I'm sure everyone who took the Texans and the points was hoping for a late game heroics. They weren't going to win the game at that point, but they were hoping that they were getting a little bit closer there. Houston also became the first playoff team, or the first team in playoff history to lose despite outgaining its opponent by more than 100 yards while avoiding committing a turnover. What's your thoughts on that, Coach Haddad?
Where's Miles with his hashtag NFL
Scripted.
rigged? No, look, there is something to be said. We've talked about it for experience in the playoffs, and the Chiefs have it as much as anybody in recent memory, outside of the Patriots. So, obviously, you would expect that those guys, Mahomes, he's halfway falling down. No problem. I'll just throw a little dart here to Kelsey, who's standing by his lonesome.
Some of those throws, I'm like, what? Why? How do people hate on this guy?
Here's what I liked, because the Houston Texans were a team that looked kind of just rudderless for the last 6 weeks. Like, they're still talented, but, just nothing seemed to be clicking right. They look better. And they looked like this is a team that is not just happy to be in the playoffs, but they're actually trying to make some moves. I like that. I don't know if I love Will Anderson's postgame, but I get it if you're him. But no, I think it was a solid game for them, because obviously you've got, a lot of young offense, and to not turn it over in the playoffs is huge. In such a big game like that when you're pressing, trying to win a game. So I was pretty proud of the Texans. I think they represented themselves well. I think the Chiefs they're just kind of resolved in the playoffs, and they're actually pretty healthy this year, which is a little bit scary. But, the Chiefs still got a big, big mountain to climb in what's coming into town this weekend.
Oh, yeah, that is going to be a great game. And, the Chiefs are going to have that home field advantage being the number 1 seed. So you got to give a slight edge there. But if I'm the odds maker, it's kind of tough. You already had Buffalo as the underdog going into this game. And anytime a NFL team is a home underdog, no matter what the situation is, that's going to give them a little chip on their shoulder and somewhat of an edge. So it'll be interesting to see. I haven't even looked to see what Las Vegas has got it at. So there's a great opportunity here for the Chiefs if they are looked at as the underdog, as I'm trying to pull that up
Kansas
here.
City at a -2.
Is it? That's
That
what it
sounds like a home team pick 'em, basically.
Yeah, basically what it is. James, do you think that the refs were a factor in this game?
I mean, yes and no. I am a firm believer in ref ball, and what we saw there, we saw some ref ball in that. Some of those hits on Patrick Mahomes were called as, roughing the passer, where even Troy Aikman, former quarterback, was like, oh, come on, guys. I mean, even when you got a former quarterback going, come on, guys, we got to take a look at it.
I think the difference in the games, I think there were two worse calls in the Detroit and Commanders game, but there were one on each side.
Yeah.
The calls in the Chiefs game, to me, weren't as bad as either of those, but they all seemed to go the Chiefs' way. That's where everybody's, kind of up and
the
on.
call on Will Anderson was absolutely rough in the passer.
Yeah,
that was right up there to the head or neck area.
The
it
ones
was the
where
one
the
where
guys
right. That wasn't, but the way that it looks when it happens like that, because if a quarterback's going down, at that point, he's down. It's essentially, it was an awkward looking slide. He was more kind of falling forward. And I think that that's something that should be looked at in the offseason. They're not going to make it go the way that I'm opting for. But if you're falling forward, that's not a slide. You're trying to gain extra yards right there.
I agree with you.
I think that at that point, you're a runner, and you're not just going down and giving yourself up. It's feet first, or you're going to take a lick.
And for me, what I'm seeing here is Patrick does a lot of these fakes. I'm going to fake out of bounds. I'm going to fake a slide.
He does.
I'm going to do that.
Or he'll fall out of bounds.
What's happening here is the defense can't trust that it's going to happen. So either the defense is going to let him get more yards, or they're going to give him more yards by taking the penalty. This is something that needs to be looked at like the NHL looks at embellishment. Yeah. You've got to, for the sake and safety of these players, because Mahomes is going to do it to one guy at one point, and the dude's just going to go straight through his head.
To me, the hit on Goff was the worst missed call of the week. That was bad. But by the rule, he is a defenseless player, and he went helmet to chin.
Or a defensive player. He was not defenseless.
No. Well,
are we talking about the pick six?
Yeah.
He's trying to make a block.
No, by rule. No, he's not trying to make a block. The other guy, look.
Okay, he's trying to make a tackle. He should have got his tail away from that area.
When I played football 30 years ago, when there was a turnover, you look for the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
It's your chance. But it is different now. And with the way he hit him, helmet to chin, I mean, he knocked him into next week. He did. Goff's actually lucky he didn't sustain a more serious thing. But by the rule, that was the worst missed call to me of the weekend.
I can't disagree with you, because it should have been a call it should have been called.
Look,
that
I
touchdown.
know we're only 2 steps away from Sarcastaball from South Park. I know where we're going,
and that negates the touchdown and changes the complexion of that game.
Well, they made up for it. I mean, there was another. I'm trying to remember the context, but
it still changes the momentum in which that game was being played with at that point, because it was back and forth, and if that play, Jared Goff didn't look the same after that either. So he didn't look as good.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he had a concussion. I'm just saying that it might be like what we used to call it back in the day.
He got his bell rung?
He got his bell rung.
Yeah,
Holland Hart's ESPN.
That was a concussion.
Yeah, but it just didn't sound as serious, right? Because we got our bells rung all the time, man. Holland Hart's ESPN Northwest Florida present the Magic Express. You can win 2 passes to watch the Orlando Magic host the Sacramento Kings on Saturday, March 29th from a luxury suite. Getting free food during the game, and your hotel will be included in this ultimate road trip. To enter, just go get the ESPN Northwest Florida app and crush the Enter Contest button. That's brought to you by PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Holland Harts, and Fairfield. All right, next game is going to be, and also for the Chiefs, you mentioned it, they're kind of hitting that stride, but now Travis Kelce is becoming a huge part of that offense again. And not that he hasn't been. He led the team in targets this year. He's always going to be a huge factor, but it just seems like he takes his game to like 2 more levels during the playoffs.
They're healthier in the playoffs this year than I can remember them in the last couple.
Patrick Mahomes isn't limping.
Yeah, I mean, they're a scary team to face. I mean, a team that's that calm and collected in the pressure, that's a tough team to face. I don't care what the talent gap is or whatever like that, they're a scary team to face. Being at home with that much experience, it's just like all those years of the Patriots. I mean, it really is.
Almost more dangerous. 7 in a row AFC championships for Patrick Mahomes since he's been a starting quarterback. Kelsey's 9th 100-yard postseason game broke a tie with Jerry Rice for now Travis Kelce has the most 100-yard postseason games in NFL history. How impressive, Coach Haddad, has this turnaround been for Dan Quinn and, of course, what we're seeing out of Jaden Daniels?
It's not just the fact that the record is different. Watch the way those guys play. That is the team that has the most fun playing football with each other of any team I've seen in the league this year. The complete change in spirit and attitude is unbelievable. And I don't know that it can just be Dan Quinn or it can just be Jaden Daniels or whatever, but that entire team looks like it loves playing football.
Yeah.
I don't see, like, there's great teams, and I think the Commanders' run-ins this weekend, but that team plays above their means, and it's fun to watch.
Which is why they could get into the Super Bowl as well, because they keep on playing above their means. And both games with the Eagles this year, they won, and I believe the first one was somewhat close as well.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But, I mean, that's the tough thing. You know, with the Lions, obviously half their defense is out and all like that, and they were kind of playing on borrowed time. I think we were all waiting for, midnight to strike on Cinderella there, but I think the Commanders could have snuck up on a Detroit, could have snuck up on a Rams, something like that. Not a divisional foe. The Eagles are going to know everything they need to know about the Commanders. They know them. It's bitter. It's a rivalry. I don't care if they've been not in the championship game since 1991. The Eagles want to punish the Commanders, and so I don't think they'll sneak up on them like that. But the thing about it is with the Commanders is they just will not let off the accelerator. Those guys are go, go, go. They're not scared of going for it on fourth down. They're just an impressive team and a scary team to play if you're in the playoffs. So Philadelphia better have their A game because they're not going to be able to just skirt past them here. They're going to have to go out and take it from the Commanders.
James?
For me with the Commanders and what we're seeing a turnaround on is we are seeing a difference in culture. And where does culture come from in an organization? It comes from the top. What has changed within the Commanders, and that is how I feel about that situation.
Hey, there you go. I tell you what, Coach Brian hit the nail on the head when he's talking about how fun it is to watch them. Well, we're going to have to find some time somewhere in the show today, because obviously we always try to get the best to worst of the weekend, but we always push those away. We still got 2 NFL games from the divisional round to talk about. We'll see if we can find some time, but first we got to talk with Steve Barnes. He's the senior writer for the rebelwalk.com. Give us a holler, 850-215-6290. You're listening to the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Sunny the remainder of the day with a brisk wind at 11 miles per hour coming out of the north-northeast and temps near 45. Tonight we will have mostly clouds and be close to freezing at 33. Mostly cloudy in the morning followed by flurries tomorrow and a high 42. Light snow Wednesday with a temp of 42. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Every love story deserves a perfect beginning. At Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we believe that your engagement ring should be as unique as your love. Explore a vast selection of certified natural and lab-created diamonds, each hand-picked for brilliance and beauty. Whether you desire the timeless allure of one of our hand-selected engagement rings, or you'd like to custom design the perfect ring, visit us today and let our experts guide you in finding the ring of her dreams, because love deserves the best. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where love sparkles.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
He listens to Post Malone. He drives a Honda with ground effects and has Pennsylvania tattooed on his right tricep.
Looking at a bad man.
David Hayes is part of the Afternoon Underdogs. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You can keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida now on your smart speaker for in-home listening. Just say, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. You can also do that with Siri. Just tell her to open up 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the sports talk and live play-by-play have to end. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. Now on the line with us, we've got Steve Barnes, and hopefully Taz is with him. Steve Barnes is the senior writer for therebelwalk.com. Steve, how are you doing today, my friend?
Well, Taz is over here, but we just lost Chase to go to the bathroom. But we do have Trinity, and we do have Mandy, and a couple of dogs. So we have a full
so these
house.
are all animals that you're naming off. Some of these, Trinity and Mandy. Mandy is...
No, Trinity is an actual person.
Okay, and Mandy is too, right?
Mandy's an actual person, too.
we talked to Mandy last week.
We talked to Mandy. She's a Tennessee fan, or I'm assuming both of them are Tennessee fans.
Yeah, she's a Tennessee fan.
Ah.
Well, nobody's perfect.
At least they make good whiskey over there. Steve, what's your best and worst of the weekend?
All right, I'm going to be an optimist here. I'm not going to have a worst of the weekend. I'm going to have three good ones.
All right, making my day.
First one is Paul Newberry. Good friend of mine. I've known him since 1991. He was the sports editor in Montgomery when I met him. Ended up in Jacksonville, and then Chase is back. Hello.
Hey, Chase, how's it going?
Yeah. He ended up in Atlanta, and if you read anything about the Braves or the Falcons or the Hawks, Paul wrote it. So he retired this week. And I used to think I had the coolest birthday in the world because the day I was born was the only time ever that we had the top 5 hits on the Billboard chart by one band. Paul beats me. He was born November 22nd, 1963, the day that JFK was killed.
Oh.
So he beats me on that crap. So, second one, Larry Blakeney, who was coach at Troy when I was there. And he is now going in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, good stuff there.
And he really deserves it. So I remember my best Coach Blakeney story is, I guess it was like 2001, and I was at the Alabama Sports Writers Convention, and we're talking in the hospitality room, and he goes, Steve, don't you think you've earned the right to call me Larry? And I said, well, Coach, have you ever called Coach Bryant Paul or Bear? And he goes, hey, I ain't no Coach Bryant. And I just looked at him and said, you are to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that one. And third, Dr. Ben Lloyd. I couldn't be on the air last week because I was at Baptist Hospital, and Dr. Lloyd had to stop my heart and then restart it. So, I mean, wow. Yeah. And I had to stay another couple days, but can you imagine that? Hey, I'm just going to stop your heart, and I'll restart it in a few seconds.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So that's my 3 good ones, and I don't have a bad one.
Do you have like
optimistic.
a push to start button now for your heart?
Well, it's like a reboot, is what he said.
Okay. All right. Hey, our computers around here have to be rebooted all the time to keep them running at optimal performance. So there you go.
Well, I didn't realize that the top of your heart and the bottom of your heart, they're 2 different things. I didn't realize that. And he's like, yeah, the bottom of your heart is not beating in the same rhythm. So what we have to do is just stop it and restart it. Now, I'm in an ER, and I'm thinking, you're going to kill me? What? What the? What? And he's like, no, trust me. We're just going to stop it for a couple of seconds, and we'll restart it. I'm like, well, if you can't restart it.
Yeah, that would have me a little worried, too.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, here we go. And so Dr. Lloyd and his staff, and, I mean, the anesthesiologist, I was telling him jokes until he put the mask on my face. And he's like, pick a good dream because you're about to have it in 10 to 15 seconds. And I'm like, I don't have one.
That's it? Is that where the story ends? And then you're blacked out at that point, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was out, and then I woke up in post-op.
There you go. Well, yeah, huge shout-out to Dr. Lloyd there, and glad that you made it through, and glad you got the reset there, and hopefully your top and bottom of your heart can be on the same rhythm. Maybe your heart was just trying to catch up to your birthday and playing some of the different rhythms from your songs back in the day.
Well, I tell you what, I told you last week about some of the songs I was listening to. I had Skinner on last week, or 2 weeks ago. Tonight it was Gordon Lightfoot. And you have no idea who that is.
Me personally, no, and I looked over to Coach Brian Haddad to try to get a glimpse of his facial features. Didn't look like... Not a big hint.
I'm not as familiar as I am with other bands of that era, but I've certainly heard
The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, there we go.
Great history. It's a great history lesson. Yeah. So listen to that one tonight.
All right, Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh, Lightfoot. That's a great name. All right. Well, what do y'all want to dive into here? We've got Commissioner Phillips of the ACC's got a new idea for the championship game, possibly giving its regular season champion a bye week and have the teams that finish second or third in the league standings playing in the ACC championship game. Let's start there. Is the ACC good enough to where they don't have to play in a championship game, and whoever had, like, if it was SMU, do they get in without playing the championship game? We know Notre Dame does, right? Because they're independent. But does SMU, did them playing in the ACC championship game hurt their potential to get into the final 12 teams?
I don't think SMU really deserved it this year, but now Notre Dame, what's going to happen with them? They're getting $20 million tonight.
Yeah.
And they are going to be able to spend that on NIL. So Notre Dame, they have no other reason to complain because you've got more money than the Pope. So, yeah, just go ahead and spend it on players.
And they get money from the Pope.
Well, they probably got to give some of that money to the Pope, too.
So it's give and take.
Yeah. I'm looking at this plan, and it's interesting on its face, but what my initial reaction is, if you're going to have the top team in the regular season get the bye and then have 2 and 3 play for your, quote, championship, what's the point in having the game?
Yeah, because then the champion's not even actually the champion.
Yeah, it's not a league championship.
You almost don't want to play in it. Because, there's no upside.
But I don't think if you're the ACC, you get any type of leg up by removing your championship game either.
Well, theoretically, the idea would be
to save a loss from your possible champion.
Certainly that, but it could help propel, because I do think playing in the game is what helped SMU this year, because that was such an issue from the second half of the season on, partly thanks to coaches like Lane Kiffin and others raising it as it related to the SEC championship. So It did help them, but if the thought is having a 2 versus 3 will propel one forward, I think the reverse will happen. I think the committee's going to look at it and say, you took your champion out of this. You're playing a team that shouldn't be in this game. I'm not going to use that to propel this team forward. If anything, I think it's a negative. So I don't see any point. I get it. It's a different way of thinking, but I don't like this. I think it's pointless to even have the game if you're going to do it this way.
Shouldn't we call it the
Brian, I have a
runner-up game?
question for you.
All right.
How far would have Ole Miss gone in this playoff?
What seed do they get? Let's start there.
They'd have been a 9-12.
9-12, okay.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss wins the first round. I don't. A lot of it would depend where they ended up. I'm not sure they go through the second round.
9 would have been playing Ohio State, right?
If they were a 9.
Do we think Ole Miss beats Ohio State?
But I don't think they would have been a 9.
Judkins.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
But I don't think Ole Miss was going to beat
I wouldn't
Ohio
want any
State.
part of Ohio State. But I do think they could have won their first round game. I think beyond that, it might have been a little difficult.
Steve, do you think Ole Miss would have beat Ohio State?
I think it would have been competitive.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
All right.
Depending on where it was. If it was way up there in Ohio, maybe not. But if it were at a neutral site, I think it would have been competitive.
Okay. All right. That's fair. James, you had something to say?
Well, I mean, if we're going to say the championship doesn't play in the game, it's not a championship game anymore.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
the runner-up game.
Yeah.
And to get one of the top 4 buys, you have to be the champion in the championship game, correct?
You're correct. Now, I don't like that one. The other possibility is, I guess they would schedule all the way up until week 14, the week before the conference championship game, and then they would have the top 4 teams play on the final weekend of the regular season, first place versus fourth place, second place versus third place, and then the winners would play in the ACC championship game. I do kind of like that, but it also kind of negates from what it is that you get into the championship game based on your regular season. So now if you're, the first place team and you're playing the fourth place team on your week before the championship weekend, I mean, you could be hurting yourself. What if you were going to be playing just regular schedule? It was going to be the worst team in the ACC. So now you're getting hurt because of Jim Phillips, the ACC commissioner.
Well, here's a new question.
All right.
For all 3 of you. Chase and Tornado are making supper for a little bit of a dinner tonight with the ball game. What is your go-to meal for game time?
Oh, James, you start first.
I'm a buffalo wing kind of guy for a game like this, big old football game. Give me the buffalo wings, as spicy as you can make them.
Yeah, I'm kind of an appetizer type deal myself. So I like any type of dip that someone makes, especially if it's got, like some cream cheese and lots of meat and all that good stuff, lots of cheese. Buffalo wings you can never go wrong with. Tonight, though, I know what I'm having already because we made them last night, some good old burgers. Just some cheeseburgers.
Normally, I'd be a wings guy, but tonight, because it's,
You're a Z guy tonight.
It's
You're going to be
cold.
sleeping.
No, well, probably, but no, I'm doing chili tonight, so that should be pretty good.
Yeah, it's cold. We got to do something hot.
That's right. With a lot of Louisiana hot sauce in it.
What about you, Steve? What's the go-to? What are we having tonight over there at your place, and when can I get some shipped over here?
They're doing chicken wings.
Okay.
But they're doing like 3 other different dishes because we got like 15 people coming over.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, I'm going to hide in my room because I don't want to hear, them to hear me cuss. But, and I hate to say this. I really do. I'm pulling for Notre Dame.
Yeah, there you go, Coach. I mean, I think you're Ohio State in it, Coach.
No.
Ohio State's going to win, but
Yeah.
I'm pulling for Notre Dame. The quarterback is from the Eastern Shore of Mobile.
Yeah.
He's from Fairhope.
I honestly think I'm going to watch this purely just to watch football. I really don't think there's a couple of games that I'll watch where I really have no rooting interest, and I'm just going to sit back and just kind of enjoy the chess match.
You have no dog in the hunt.
I really don't. I would say it would be like if Ole Miss and Tennessee played, but for me. But no, it's not that. I am very interested to see this matchup. Normally, if there were no SEC schools or something like that, I'd have a hard time being into it. But if you're a college football fan, Ohio State and Notre Dame are in the fabric of college football. Watching this game should be a lot of fun.
I don't understand that. I don't understand how we talk about football all year long, and you can sit there and say, well, if there's no SEC teams, I won't have a vested interest in the game.
Normally, I wouldn't.
So you wouldn't even watch the game if it doesn't have someone that you like in there.
No, I'll be honest. I didn't watch the 2014.
That's a ridiculous take.
I didn't. That ain't my first one.
Off my lawn.
Look, that won't be my only ridiculous take today, so I don't care about that. But I didn't watch 2014 when it was just Ohio State and Oregon. I really wasn't that interested. Ohio State and Notre Dame hits different for me.
Yeah,
and I do want to watch this one.
Steve, who do you think had the tougher, in your opinion, who had the tougher road here, and how does that help them? Do you think Tennessee, do you think Ohio State had the tougher road, or do you think Notre Dame did? Notre Dame with Indiana, Georgia, and then Penn State. You had Ohio State taking on Tennessee, Oregon, and then finally Texas.
Well, first, you made Mandy stay by saying Tennessee.
Ears perked up for a second. Oh, maybe I said take out the garbage, Mandy.
I think that Notre Dame had the easier road.
Yeah.
But I think Ohio State's a better team.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that because my old boss of the Mobile Bay Bears is now the athletic director at the Ohio Northern University.
There you go.
And he just loves the Buckeyes because he was born in Columbus.
Wow.
What do you think about that spread? Do you think Ohio State, obviously you're rooting for Notre Dame, but your thoughts on the spread? Do you think Ohio State can cover, what is it, 9
points, yeah.
I remember way back when, early 2000s, Ohio State played Florida, and Terry Glenn returned the kickoff back for a touchdown. Yeah, I had predicted to my old boss that the final score was going to be 41-14. And he called me as soon as Terry Glenn took that back. Yeah, that ain't working. Turned out to be 41-14.
Yeah.
So
it was all Florida from there.
Yeah, I just, it's kind of like when Florida played Nebraska in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
And my joke was, how many Florida players does it take to tackle Tommy Frazier?
All of them?
We don't
Still
know.
Can't get it.
They ain't done it yet.
Yep.
Well, Steve, next week we'll talk a little bit about Xavier Lucas, Wisconsin, Miami, and all of the fun stuff that's happening over there. But we are up against a break, so enjoy the national championship game with you and 15 of your closest friends, and enjoy those wings. And
I don't even know these people.
Oh, but you know your roommates, though, right? So
yeah.
There you go.
So, that's cool.
That's
it makes it easier to send them packing at the end of the night, Steve. It's perfect.
Well, I just go back to my room and, just turn on the laptop and go, okay, well, I'll watch Stephen Colbert.
There you go.
There you go. All right, Steve, you take care, my friend.
All right, brothers. Y'all be careful.
All right, that's Steve Barnes. He's a senior writer for TheRebelWalk.com. We're going to take a quick time out. When we get back, it's time to play a little bit of trivia. And today's question is pretty simple. So we've got $25 to Major Smokehouse, $10 to Golf Plus on the line for you guys. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, listening to ESPN Northwest Florida.
The next evolution in sports talk radio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs. The only live afternoon show in Panama City where you can win fantastic prizes from amazing local businesses every day.
That's right.
4 to 6 weekdays. The Afternoon Underdogs.
It's mayhem.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Sunny the remainder of the day with a brisk wind at 11 miles per hour coming out of the north-northeast and temps near 45. Tonight we will have mostly clouds and be close to freezing at 33. Mostly cloudy in the morning followed by flurries tomorrow and a high 42. Light snow Wednesday with a temp of 42. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200-plus entertainment and news networks, or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $42 a month when you use the promo code ESPNNW at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Everybody would ask me why I came to Notre Dame. The truth is I came here to win a national championship.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
You'll be a Buckeye legend for life. How does that sound?
I just want to win a national championship. The College Football Playoff National Championship, presented by AT&T.
The stakes get much higher.
Hit by Sawyer, ball's loose. Sawyer comes up with it.
Intercepted by Christian Gray of Notre Dame.
Coverage coming up today at 6 on your home for college football. ESPN, Northwest Florida.
He stuck his head in the microwave enchanted Hot Pocket.
Hot Pocket!
Caveman Rick is part of the Afternoon Underdogs.
Hope you're drunk or heading home to a trailer.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's always good. We're in the building right now talking about Lucid Streams TV. Just go over there to ESPNPC.com. Click on Lucid Streams TV. There should be a logo there, and make sure that you've got the promo code ESPNNW. You can't hear us over there, Coach, or is it just not loud?
No, lucky you. You don't have to hear us.
Well, we were talking about cell phones. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
We've got Coach Andy Siegel, who's going to be co-coaching. Is that what we're calling you guys? Over there, head coach.
Yeah.
Head coach. I'm going off the article here.
If looks could kill.
Don't look. Yeah, right.
The only co-coaching he's doing, he's coaching multiple sports this year is the thing.
Doing wrestling and doing...
This year.
Okay.
And head football coach.
Head football coach.
Now, there's an associate head coach that, everybody has that.
Yeah. Okay.
And he helps me with some things, but if you got 2 head coaches, you don't have a head coach.
There you go. The buck stops here.
I didn't say head coach. I said co-coach. And as soon as he looked at me, like, okay, all right. And that'll do it for me. Coach Brian's taking over.
How's that chair feel?
Yeah, a little bit.
There's 2 optical-sized daggers going through you. I love it.
Real quick. Oh, okay. All right. Excited about 2025 for the Buccaneers?
Yeah, I mean, I was enjoying staying on the couch, but I'm ready to go coach again. And
there you go.
It is an opportunity, and I saw the way the kids have worked hard, and I thought Matt Durham did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I just got to say, you got 2 guys coaching a football team for basically 80% of the season by themselves, no help, and kept that thing afloat and competitive in a couple games where I'm like, hey, I don't think Bear Bryant, Woody Hayes, and Vince Lombardi could have done what they did. I'm being
high praise.
Well, honestly,
we talked about it obviously when we were doing the high school kickoff show, leading into Dave's fabulous calls there for Mosley. But I think probably the coaching job of the year for one game was what that staff did going into that Baker game on the road. Getting points, being, somewhat
you remember my quote when I got out of the car and I went, oh.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, I was as impressed by that as anything I thought I saw, because that was short week for those guys, everything that went on. You go into a place like Baker that's tough against a team that's very tough. You haven't scored, I think, at all.
No, I think that was the first time.
And they put up, I think, 20 points that game.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
And I thought Coach Durham and Coach Epps did a great job that week. And, they almost beat North Florida Christian, which came down to the last-second field goal, I think. So, it's going to be an exciting time. And then you start looking around the landscape of Bay County high school football, and you got Arnold's they're back.
That's right.
And Bays won 2 out of 3 district championships. Mosley's a machine, just butcher knives, carving people up. Rutherford's one. How many times did we say, just watch out? Because this is it. Now they're going to start making people pay for it.
Yeah, and they got Javian Elliott coaching the defensive backs.
Oh,
as well.
yeah. I mean,
Bozeman, I thought, did a very good job this year. After
Bozeman did a great.
Too.
I mean, the whole county is stuff. I mean, obviously we're at the bottom looking up, and that's going to take a little bit. But there's a thing called a weight room where you fix that.
That's right.
There you go, man. So excited about the Buccaneers, Bay County football in general here in 2025.
Can I give a little shout out to my Rutherford Ram Wrestling?
Let's go.
Yeah.
I just want to say, and I'm about to get in big trouble on this one. I just want to say we were undefeated versus North Behaven, the number 7 team in the state this weekend. 2-0, 2 head-to-head matches, and the Rutherford Rams came up on both of them. And as always, go Rams.
How is
breaking news? It is co-coach now. No.
Whoops.
How is that coaching against Bear?
He kicked me a couple weeks ago and almost lost a team point. And then I got mad because he knows my hand signals.
Yeah.
So I would signal something and I'd hear it. Like before I even finish the signal, he's yelling out what I'm doing to his teammates. It's not fair. Like, hey, he's cheating over there. And I'm yelling at the ref, can we get him to be quiet? And then I wouldn't shake his hand after he beat us. And I was like, no, I'm not shaking his hand. So, I mean, it's been fun. We've had to forfeit him the last couple times because our kids heard it that weight class, thank God. So, it's interesting. I miss about half his matches now because I'll be over here and I'll come back and go, you should see what he did now. Yeah, it's great. I'll watch it on video later when he shows it to me. And then sometimes I don't even get a video because people forget to video for me because they forget that I'm standing there, but I'm facing that way and he's wrestling that way. And so I don't get to see it. And then sometimes I'm not even coaching. I just get distracted by someone else at another school wrestling that I want to watch. And like this weekend at Weewa Hitchka, I got distracted by the hospitality room, which was one of the best I've ever seen in my life. And unfortunately, this weekend is Bay High, which is like the Super Bowl of hospitality rooms.
Yeah.
Coach Deaton, oh my God.
That's this weekend,
That's this weekend.
Okay, I need to get Coach Deaton on the program.
Oh, you got to with that prime rib and shrimp and freaking oysters and I don't know, prime rib. That's what I keep talking about.
Oh, man. So how did the Gator Bash go over there in Weewa?
It was pretty good. I think Middleburg won that thing second. I don't remember. Well, I know we weren't last.
There you go.
And that's been an improvement over the last couple of weeks. We finished 14th out of 20, so that was pretty good for the Rutherford Rams. North Behaven was up at the other end of the spectrum. They're probably top 5 or something. I wasn't paying attention up there. I was worried about down in our little world that we were. And we had 2 placers. Alex Solario placed 3rd at 150, and then Alex Sims placed 4th, 5th, 6th at 126. So
I like how you're watching the scoreboard in your head counting.
Wait till I start doing this. So we had a good thing, and I lost an all-you-can-eat rib. I had to go buy for our heavyweight because I said, if you pin somebody, I got you. And he pinned the kid, runs off the mat, looks at me, goes, ribs. I said, got you. So we went over and had a little all-you-can-eat ribs Saturday night, and I think they're ready to shut that restaurant down.
That's dangerous for the wrestling.
Yeah, I walk in there with the wrestling team, and the people over there are like, uh-oh. I said, well, that's your fault having all you can eat.
Yeah, that is the truth right there. You got Coach Andy Siegel in the building with us, James Fife on the 1s and 2s, Coach Brian Haddad, and I'm David Hayes. We're the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. I want to remind you guys about Wrestling Against Cancer 10. That's going to be February 8th at Bay Haven Charter Academy. Doors are going to open at 5:30, bell time 6:30. Tickets are $20 for front row. If Jack Patterson still has some of those front row tickets, I know they're going fast. $12 for adults, $8 for ages 6 through 17, 5 and under. Get in for free, and all proceeds go to benefit Ryan Holland and his medical expenses. This is my cousin, so it would mean a lot if you're listening right now. Show up, man.
For sure.
He's a wrestler himself, and so this is big for the wrestling community, and I would love to see that gym packed Saturday, February 8th at Bay Haven Charter Academy. And Jack does a great job. Concessions are there, and they have all kind of raffles and great stuff like that going on. So come out and support Ryan Holland and Wrestling Against Cancer 10. Our trivia question for today, either number 7 Notre Dame or number 8 Ohio State will become the lowest seed to ever win the college football playoff national championship game, because we've never had this many seeds. 2 teams have won as the number 4 seed. That would be Alabama and which other school. 850-215-6290. You're going to get a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock, $25 to Major Smokehouse, and $10 to Golf. Plus, all you got to do is tell me who's the other 4 seed, not named Alabama, who won the college football national championship. You know the answer, right?
I do, and if someone wants to text me, I'll take half of the...
Hey, well, there you go. Because this team did beat Alabama in the national championship game. To get to.
I do know this one.
There you go. They beat them to get to the national championship.
Now we're giving it away.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. And then, David, I was going to add for that.
I'm giving away to give away.
That wrestling against cancer, you let Jack know that me and Henry Harrison right now challenge anybody he wants in a tag team. We will be there in the ring. If you want to pack the place, you get me and Coach Henry Harrison. And I'm telling you right now, I'm coming off the top rope with the people's belly.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, man. Surgery number umpteenth.
And remember, robotic surgery at Dr. Mitchell.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Southern Orthopedics, right? Southern Orthopedics. What have you been thinking of the NFL playoffs so far, Coach?
Man, I was bummed out last night. That snow game.
Yeah.
That should have been canceled and put in somewhere you can actually play on a real field. That daggum tight end, he had that thing. It was a frozen football. That's not right. That should be disallowed.
That's football. I can't believe I'm hearing this from an actual football coach.
That was hockey.
I felt you couldn't help
You've been
but
in Florida too long now, Coach.
You couldn't help but feel for him, too.
Oh, my God. And he already fumbled earlier.
Yeah, that heel clipped right as he was putting his hands on the ball.
I mean,
it's happened to all of us, but in that moment.
When I saw Lamar release it, and I look, I go, oh, the flat's wide open. The flat's always wide open.
Yeah.
And I look, I said, the flat's wide open. Here comes touchdown. I said, oh, yeah, brother, here it is. There it is. And then,
and it was a perfect drag. He was in the right position. That heel clipped right as the hands get on the ball.
I mean, you throw that thing on 100 times, 99 times he catches it. Unfortunately, it was the one time. And the Bills' mojo worked in reverse, and they got it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. But normally the choking comes in the AFC Championship game or in the big game.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see if they can keep it rolling, though. Who's your early favorite for the Bills Chiefs? Who do you think's a better football team as it stands?
I mean, you know what your brain's going to tell you, but your heart says, gosh, dang, can the Chiefs take a break so I don't have to see Britney Spears or whatever her name is? What's her
That's what it is.
What's
it's
her
Britney
name?
Spears. It's Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift, Britney Spears. They all look the same to me. But anyways, I'm about tired of her, so I want to see I really want to see the Bills. Plus, I like their head coach. He's a fiery little sucker. He looks like the Notre Dame mascot if you look at him.
Yeah.
He's fiery. You know, I kind of like him. And
Sean McDermott.
Yeah. Doesn't he look like Notre Dame mascot?
Kind of.
I'm still stuck on Britney Spears. I'm not getting
And then the
past
thing
that
is, I knew that quarterback when he was a little kid in Kingsburg. So, Jared Allen's from Kingsburg, California. We lived in Visalia, next town over. So, I remember him being a little kid. So, it's kind of, he's old now, and I'm old. But, I'm kind of a Jared Allen fan. He plays with some toughness and a little something about him. And I just kind of like the Bills. Nothing against the Chiefs. I like the Chefs. But, I'm going to go with the Bills just with my heart right there. And then on the other side, who cares, really, to be honest? But
all right, we'll take a quick break from that. We've got Trevor riding with us on the show this afternoon. Hey, Trevor, what's going on?
Hey, how you folks doing tonight?
Hey, we're doing great, man. You playing some trivia with us?
I think so. I think that the answer is Oregon.
Oregon.
Almost, but no.
Very close.
There's an Oregon tie to it, but it's not Oregon.
Hey, Trevor, thanks.
That's when they were playing Florida State in that national championship. That was the original college football.
It was,
all right.
You were close, though.
You're very close. Trevor, take care, bud.
All right, y'all. Have a good one now.
Google who Oregon was playing.
I was going to say, we have now talked about the two teams that this team beat in order to win the national championship.
Yeah, because Oregon smacked Florida State in that semifinal, and then this particular team took care of business against Alabama, and then they went on to take on Oregon in the national championship. And as Trevor mentioned, he gave you a pretty big hit.
We've now given 3 of the 4 teams from that.
We've given you 3 of the 4 teams.
I love how bemused Andy looks over there.
I thought it was Oregon. I'm going through my mind. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to say it.
It was close.
Yeah, don't say it. Don't say it.
No, I'm not going to say it.
Because we've like I don't know if there's any other hint. I think there's one other hint that
you're on the right track.
In the break, I'm going to give you guys the other hint that I think would be the only other hint that we could give other than just saying the team's name. So, number 7, Notre Dame. Number 8, Ohio State. They're going to be playing tonight. Whoever wins will become the lowest seed ever to win the College Football National Championship. 2 teams have won as the number 4 seed, one of those being Alabama, who was the other school. For your opportunity to win 12-pack of Buffalo Rock, $25 to Major Smokehouse, and $10 to Golf Plus. On the other side, Rams and Commanders. Coach Siegel, your early thoughts on that? I guess what we'll do, James has given me the 30-second flashing sign back there. So first, y'all go get to your ESPN Northwest Florida app and crush the Enter Contest button for the Holland Hearts ESPN Northwest Florida Magic Express. You're going to be watching the game from a luxury suite on March 29th. You're going to get free food during the game, and your hotel is included. Brought to you by Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive and Home 2 Suites. This is the Afternoon Underdogs. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the College Football National Championship.
75 yards. Wow.
It's the Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Pick 6. Rolling.
Listen live in ultra-high fidelity. Coverage coming up tonight at 6. Kickoff at 6:30. Right here on your home for college football on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Sunny the remainder of the day with a brisk wind at 11 miles per hour coming out of the north-northeast and temps near 45. Tonight we will have mostly clouds and be close to freezing at 33. Mostly cloudy in the morning followed by flurries tomorrow and a high 42. Light snow Wednesday with a temp of 42. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison. WGSX Lynn Haven, WPLQ Port St. Joe, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach is celebrating 60 years of caring and sharing in our community with the Diamond Jubilee Gala Dance and Charity Auction. Come out, mingle with friends, dance to great music, bid on fun auctions, and support a worthy cause. The Diamond Jubilee Gala Dance and Charity Auction is Saturday, February 1st from 6 until 10 at the Boardwalk Beach Hotel and Convention Center, 9600 South Thomas Drive. For details, visit the Women's Civic Club, WCCPCB.org.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. Now, the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yeah, we're talking average ticket prices in here. And to get into the studio with the Afternoon Underdogs, it's just a little bit cheaper than the $2,262.
Good thing them hot dogs are only $2.
Yeah.
Hot dog, a couple of rib tips, get you right in here.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. You bring us food and you'll be our best friend forever. We're going to kick off hour number 2 here, telling you that the national championship game will be right here on our air this evening. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock for a 6:30 kick, so make sure you keep it locked in to ESPN Northwest Florida after the Afternoon Underdogs. And if you don't have a way to watch the game tonight, you can always get Lucid Streams TV, because as Coach Siegel came in,
oh my God,
best
thing ever.
Best thing ever.
You can watch this on the Alaska affiliate and watch it there.
You can.
I mean, seriously,
there's
You know what makes
ways.
it the best, though, is if you wake up in the middle of the night, forget what channel you're watching, watch the weather and go,
that is
frozen
true.
Caribou out there.
That is true. And if you want the local news channels, and I think we have them on there. If you don't, though, you just get your antenna and then
antenna costs you $18.
Coach Hale used to talk about that's how Coach Hale would watch Jamie. through this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
she's on there every night.
That's right. Man.
And if you're a UFC fan, a boxing fan, you can watch the WWE on Netflix on there as well. I mean, it don't make sense, but we're just telling you it's that good. Dan, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, I'm heading down to the beach, pick up my son. We're going to go watch the game at Christo's.
Hey, there you go, man. Get some wings for me then. You want to play some trivia with us?
Sure.
All right, 2 teams have won as the number 4 seed, Alabama, and what other school in the college football playoff national championship?
Ohio State did it.
Ding.
That is correct.
Ding, ding. That is the answer we were looking for. Trevor was so close with Oregon, but that was the team that they were playing. You just wanted yourself a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock, $25 to Major Smokehouse, and a $10 gift certificate to Golf Plus, which if you play the game of golf, that is a great store to get to. If not, man, hook somebody else up with it as we're watching them at Mercedes-Benz Stadium right now, chowing down on the cheap food. Who do you got to win tonight, Dan?
Man, I'm hoping my Buckeyes win.
Oh, you're a Buckeye fan, so you already knew the answer off the top of your head, and you've got your team playing in the national championship tonight. Well, I really hate both of these teams, but they're really good football teams. They're here for a reason. I think that I hate Notre Dame just a little bit less than what I hate Ohio State, and here's why I hate Ohio State.
Like any good Protestant,
there you go. Here's why. The reason I hate Ohio State so much is the same reason everyone else hates Alabama. Yeah. Like Ohio State is there every year, and so it's just drinking a little bit of haterade. So Dan, go Buckeyes for you tonight, my man.
Hey, I was there 59-0 when they beat Wisconsin. I was there when they beat Alabama. And I almost went to the Oregon game, and I didn't want to press my luck, but they pulled it off.
Hey, there you go, man. Well, enjoy the game, enjoy Christo's, and thank you so much for riding along with us.
All right, thanks.
All right, that is Dan, ladies and gentlemen. He's your big winner. We're going to try to keep trivia rolling every afternoon as we get back to our this football season has been so crazy. We've had so many guests that it's been kind of hard just to keep trivia rolling every day. But we're going to get back to it, giving you guys an opportunity to win great stuff from our great sponsors here at ESPN Northwest Florida. Best and worst of the weekend. James is on the line right now, so I was going to start with him. I like putting him on the spot every now and again, but we'll go over. What do you want to start with your best and worst? Do you have those ready yet?
Yeah, let's go.
Are you feeling like
I actually
Steve?
have some positives this week.
Oh my goodness, what's going on with you and Steve? I've got like 28 worst over here, and I'm normally the positive guy.
I wanted to get this on when Steve was on, unfortunately, but I've got 2 bests. Number 1, how about my Bulldogs taking down the Rebels in overtime?
Why didn't we?
Even though that game shouldn't have gone to overtime.
We need more cowbells.
There you go. So congratulations,
we got one right
State.
In there too.
And look, I have to include this. Friday night, Arnold's first Sports Hall of Fame induction. That was really, it was the first high school basketball game I've been to in about 35 years. I had a blast at that.
Yeah.
But they really did a great job with there. And we were laying bets in the corner whether the horn was going to sound before Hale was done talking. He did beat the horn. But he had to go back to the mic because he forgot to thank Julie the first time. And he was worried about that couch, so he got it. But no, he did a wonderful job. And it was a well done thing there. They had why am I blanking? Shane, I think, was the baseball player.
Yeah, Shane Funk and then Susan Vasquez.
Susan Frakes Vasquez for golf. They did a wonderful job. It was really well done. Good crowd out there, so that was good. I'm going to throw this out as a worst. It doesn't offend me, but it would have been nice if it had been portioned out a little bit. I'm a Yankees fan, so all I've heard is that the rich keep getting richer and the Yankees buy everybody for all this time. Well, the Dodgers are taking that to the next level. I really was hoping Roki Sasaki was going to end up somewhere else.
Yeah, Blue Jays or Padres were.
And I really thought the Padres were going to land him, but he is going to the Dodgers, so the rich keep getting richer. I guess it'll be that much more fun if they don't win.
They're more like the credited get more credit.
Yeah, fair enough. But look, this rotation is nasty.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Sasaki, so this could be something else.
23 years old, getting signed on a minor league deal, but we know he's going to get up there very quickly. You've got Yamamoto over there, you've got Glasnow, you've got Snell.
We're not even talking about Kershaw, for God's sake.
He's not even really a part of the 5-man.
Yeah.
They're just going to wait till he gets to the playoffs. Maybe it's going to be like a long relief pitcher or something, since guys can only make it to
I'll
the
say
fifth inning.
I'll say that as my worst.
But one of the shining, I hate to say this as a positive because it's really not a positive, but from everyone else who's not a fan of the Dodgers, for the 29 other teams, a lot of injuries.
Sure.
In that starting rotation. So if that could, I hate to say, use the word saving grace, but who knows, man? Maybe they won't stay healthy.
I think their 7th starter is better than most teams' 3rd.
And their daggum farm system is better than everyone else's.
And they can hit.
Golly,
we haven't talked about Ohtani.
Yeah,
pitching.
I know. Right. It's
I don't think it will, man. I don't think they're going to have him.
They don't have to.
No.
Right.
Why put the stress on him?
He's going to be the most expensive designated hitter of all time, and well worth it, right? $70 million for someone just to get there, sell you a ton of tickets, make a lot of bets, and win a lot of money along, or make a lot of money along the way. But I mean, it'll be a while before he's actually making money. What was your best and worst of the weekend, Coach?
I'll see best. Rutherford Rams 2-0 versus North Bay Haven Wrestling. Worst, the hire by the Chicago Bears yesterday. I get he's a great offensive coordinator with all the trick plays they do at the Detroit Lions. I get that. But because you've been a flash in the pan for 2 years consistency, you've never been a head coach, why do we keep doing these things? Mm-hmm. One, they had a chance to actually get Mike McCarthy at the end of the day, who I get it didn't do anything at Dallas, but nor has anybody since basically Jimmy Johnson and before that, Coach Landry.
That's right.
So those are 2 Hall of Fame all-time greats, and no one's done anything since. I think McCarthy understands the NFC Central, and it would have been a great hire right there. And, of course, I've got to give a shout-out to Todd Monken. Should have been hired. Why can't we keep it? Or, Ron Rivera would have done a great job, too.
If
they wanted to go
call.
defense.
Yeah.
So you had two guys that are quarterback whisper-type guys, and then you had a defensive guy that could have brought in. And at the end of the day, they could have also gone legacy, because I know somebody wanted the job who I grew up with and didn't even get an interview, was Rex Ryan. But he'll end up being the head coach of the Jets. And
you think he's actually going to be the head coach of the Jets?
No, man. He's making too much money eating TV and sitting on the couch eating barbecue. They ain't getting him off the couch.
James, your best and worst of the weekend.
My best of the weekend is Sunday with the Snow Globe games. I just always enjoy watching those. And they stayed nice and close, so it kept me entertained. Always appreciated that. My worst of the weekend, Kansas City ref ball.
Ref ball. How do you feel about that, Coach Siegel? Do you feel like it's ref ball? You think they're getting favorable calls?
God, if you come anywhere near Mahoney's, it's like foul.
Yeah.
Foul. It's like basketball on grass, but literally, like you come near, touch them, it's
just
foul.
one player.
Yeah, but I mean.
But Josh Allen actually has the most roughing the passers since like 2020. Actually, Ryan Tannehill's up there as well.
That's because he was behind the Titan line.
Yeah, I was going to say Tannehill stood there and couldn't help it. He was getting his clock cleaned. I mean, when you get decapitated, people are getting arrested for child abuse with Tannehill. And Allen's crazy. He's lowering his head and trying to run people over. So I get those two, but Mahomes. The Chiefs just mysteriously seem to get calls that no one else seems to get.
Yeah.
But if you recall, remember when Brady was playing for the Patriots and they used to complain the same thing? I think that's kind of when you're the champ, you get the calls.
Somewhat.
They used to complain about the Bulls when Michael Jordan was there that he would get called for fouls if you came anywhere near him. The same thing with LeBron. And so I think that's just you're the championship team. It's the illusion more than the actual reality.
Sure.
I agree with that. I do think that it's more the illusion more so than the reality. Did you have something?
No. I was thinking back. There was a funny bit with when the Dream Team was going. They were taking pictures, and there was one with Jordan in the front and Larry Bird and Magic behind him. And Larry goes to put his hand on his shoulder, and Magic said, "Be careful, they'll call you for a foul." That's exactly the kind of thought I got when Coach was talking about the Mahomes thing.
Well, the best for me is UFC 311. I tuned in right before the co-main event between Merab Valishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov, and that was a phenomenal fight. The fights leading up to that were. I have no idea about, so I didn't watch them. But, Umar was a heavy favorite in that fight, and for Merab just to go gas. I mean, he was gassing Umar up the whole entire fight, and Umar by the third round, really going into the third round, just didn't seem like he had very much left in the tank. Now, he did say that he broke his hand in the first round, but which you don't like to. I know that you don't. As a wrestling coach, like, excuses go out the window. Who's the guy from Arizona State that they've got the documentary coming out on? That was Robles.
With
yeah.
one leg.
I mean,
but he's got an advantage. You can only shoot at one of them.
That's true. I mean, I guess you know a lot more about wrestling.
I saw the kid. There's another movie coming out. I'm not being funny. There's actually a kid with no legs that wrestled too.
Yeah.
He's from New York, and Bears somehow is friends with him, and they were at camp together. And I'm looking over at the kid, and I'm looking at the kid, and I'm like, wow, that's a pretty good advantage. You can't get any of them. Robles, unfortunately, he's standing there with one leg.
Yeah.
You can get it. But with that broken hand, I've heard all these boxers, and I know UFC is different in boxing because you got to grab, but they say that when you break your hand, if you can survive that round, it'll go numb and you won't feel it anymore, that it numbs itself. I know George Foreman had talked about that, and so did the Hands of Steel. I forgot his name.
Mike Tyson?
No. Roberto Duran.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It said the same thing. So, you know, I'm an old school boxing guy, and I study that, and their hands go numb. Again, UFC has to use their hand for grabbing. Well, those two weren't grabbing too much. They're swinging.
They were swinging.
They were trying to knock it, because I'll sit there going, yes.
Yeah. Which is one of our guys, Johnny Yankee Seed. He comes on and he previews the UFC main events or not main events, the UFC main cards, sometimes the prelims as well. And he calls those fights, or between those two fighters, it could have been a crotch sniffing fest, right? Where they're just kind of wrestling around the whole time, which can be boring if you're expecting guys to throw hands. And they came out there and they were throwing hands. It was a great fight. So that's my best of the week. And then my worst is two from the Ravens. Obviously, the Mark Andrews, you don't want to beat up on the guy too much, but it's just like, golly, after the drop early on in the game, then you have the fumble on a really important drive for you guys, and then you drop the 2-point conversion. My other for the Ravens is, why in the world did Derrick Henry only get 16 carries?
Especially in that weather on that surface, pound the rock.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Why didn't they run Lamar? Let him run the ball. There's less chance of fumbling, although Derrick Henry doesn't fumble. I mean, it was another thing. And then even at the end when they threw that flat route, Lamar rolled out. I kind of thought it was a run-pass option. He was going to pull it down and go in. But, I mean, it was wide open. So,
and they had two of those 2-point conversions on their final 2 touchdowns. Why isn't Derrick Henry involved in either one of those when Derrick was the guy who punched it in for you in the first place? Not entirely sure what was going on. And it's just one of those situations where the Ravens and the Bills have done. The Bills, it seems like more or less they kind of get screwed some way or the other. But with the Ravens, it seems like they shoot themselves in the foot at times. And that's more on the head coach than anyone, or is that? I mean, who gets the blame especially when we're talking about 2-point conversions? Now, obviously, all the blame goes on Mark Andrews for that. No matter if anyone else blames him or not, we know is what we saw. Sure. And they're just being great teammates. But when it comes down to those calls, I heard Colin Cowherd earlier and them talking about, you know, sometimes offensive coordinators getting too cute there. Is that on the offensive coordinator? Does the call go from the OC to the head coach, and then the head coach says, I give you the okay, or no, we're not doing that play?
Yeah, he is not calling that 2-point play unless the head coach gave him a green light on it, because he'll say, I guarantee the conversation was, okay, what do we got? Before they scored the touchdown, they've already had the conversation of what do we have for a 2-point play, and he said, I've got, you know, spider monkey, whatever, like the thing that Gruden used to call it, or whatever, spider Y monkey,
spider Y
banana, you know, whatever. They've discussed it already, and they've said, okay, let's go ahead and do that. Have it ready. And he'll say, put it in your hip pocket. Have it ready for when we score, because you don't just come up with it. Okay, we just scored. Now you go 2-point play. That's been discussed as they've crossed that 50. As soon as they cross that 50, they've already got, hey, here's our red zone game. Here's our red zone plays we like. Here's our 2-point play we want to go with. They've already had that discussion. They already know if they're going for it on 4th down. They've had all those discussions on those headphones as they're moving.
Well, remember now, too, that was the second one they had because they went for one earlier. Right. And we talked about it this morning. One of the things that I don't know that gets enough mention, because we're kind of used to it now, the changing of the extra point in the NFL has really led to some very different gameplay. You're seeing a lot more of them missed. We saw 2 of them missed in the Philadelphia game, which left that last drive open to potentially be a game winner for the Rams. You have, and I do. Don't get me wrong. I think the Ravens made the right call both times. I do think there are teams that go for two too early, and it puts them in a position. So theoretically, had the Ravens gone for the first one, just gotten the 1 point, which is no gimme, but gotten it, they would have only had to kick, which another wouldn't have been a gimme at the end. But no, at the end of the third quarter, you don't know that you're going to score again. No. You go for the 2, you try and tie the game. But it is certainly that change, that taking away of just the absolute 99%er has changed the game of professional football, and I think in a very exciting way.
Do you think that kickoff rules in the playoffs should just go back to how they were so that we could get back to the surprise onside kick? I like the new kickoff rules. They don't bother me at all. But on the flip side of that is the element of surprise for the onside kick. Taking that away just makes it almost impossible to get an onside kick.
Yeah, onside kick. As soon as they had to line up on that onside kick, I said the chance of this happening is slim and none except for the weather. That was the only thing that gave them a little bit more of an advantage.
Detroit still should have got it. That guy kicked it perfect. But, yeah, you're right. It does stay. But that's the consequence of
the safety.
The
because
new rule.
Onside kicks, if you go look at the numbers, there's more people that get hurt on an onside kick than anything because there's someone that's told to go smash those first 3 guys in that line and knock them back, and they're looking at the ball. They're not looking at that helmet aiming at their nose. So, I mean, there's an instant concussion right there. And then you got some crazy guys.
1 concussion, 2 concussion, 3 concussion.
I'll be honest, I've liked what it's done to the regular kickoff because I've seen some –
more returns.
I think so, and I think they have a chance. You beat one guy now, and you have a real shot. Whereas it was a little more spread out, and you might have to make 2-3 moves. So it's actually made. I was worried it was just going to kill the kickoff. It's actually made it fairly exciting. I think
it has, and I haven't seen the numbers, but I bet you it's a lot less injuries are happening because you're closer together. You're not getting that full speed crazy person running down the field.
But you're right. It is definitely taken away from the onside kick and the surprise factor.
Let's see if we can run through the rest of these best and worst of the weekend from my Facebook page. James Lehman says the finish of that Ravens versus Bills game was amazing. I'm assuming he's a Buffalo Bill. I think James is actually I think he's a Cowboys fan, but he might be a Bills fan. Either way, it was a great finish for him. Dodgers signing another high-priced player is the worst he says he's done with baseball. Gator Jamie's his best. Commanders are going to the championship game. His worst, so are the Eagles. Johnny Yankee Seed says the best was Yuri versus Hill and Mirab versus Umar. Great fights. The worst was a continued effort of the Dodgers to ruin baseball. Will someone do something? Anything, please. Summer Dawn Helm says, honestly, it was all great. Couldn't have asked for better playoff games. And Katie Fruin says the Commanders win over the Lions. No one thought that we could do it. It has been a long drought as a Redskins fan, and now they are back in the thick of things. Commanders and the Eagles and the Bills and the Chiefs. And I was saying this to Caveman Rick yesterday, if the Rams were to have beat the Eagles, Commanders-Rams NFC Championship game, no one would have brought that to the table at the beginning of the year.
No, but ironically, ESPN at the beginning of the playoffs had Rams-Packers in the championship game and had Packers going to the Super Bowl. Obviously, it didn't work out that way.
Which I think that
I just wish the Lions, just because the Redskins, Commanders.
You can call it what you want.
Sorry, hadn't been there in a while. I get that, but they've been there.
Yeah.
They've been in the modern times.
Yeah.
The last time Detroit Lions were in any championship was Bobby Lane drinking whiskey at halftime, smoking a cig, and going on the field and throwing balls. And I don't even know if he had a face mask, to be brutally honest.
He didn't need one. He was numbed up.
Yeah, he didn't feel it.
We talked about it last year.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, if you weren't a Vikings, Packers, or Bears fan, everyone else in the country was a Lions fan. Or against your team. They definitely kind of captured the hearts of everything. But look, you could just see it coming this year. There were too many injuries on defense, and you know what we said. The clock was going to strike midnight on Cinderella eventually.
They were running out of guys. Yeah. It just would have been. I just love the way that guy coaches the team, and they seem like they play for the love of the game.
Yeah,
and I like that.
I love that. I think anyone who loves the game of football loves watching guys enjoy the game and play with some
toughness.
Yeah, that is a good.
If you're a traditionalist, if you're a football traditionalist and you don't like the grass basketball game that's being played, then you like the Detroit Lions. If you're a new age whatever you want to call it guy, and you like grass basketball, you like watching how the Chiefs play.
Grasketball, I like that. Grasketball.
That's what it is.
Hey, I tell you what, though, I think all other NFL fans can rejoice, though, because you know what team has had the longest drought from being in the NFC Championship game now? It's the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
Dallas
How about that?
Cowboys.
Wow.
America's team, ladies and gentlemen.
I was trying to find a way how the Titans could be in there, even though they're not in the NFC.
I remember.
Coming up next, y'all, it's time for the PCB Hobby Takeover. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. You're tuned in to ESPN Northwest Florida.
Set your alarm clock to wake up with the Coach Hales Show on ESPN Northwest Florida. In-depth local and college sports from expert insiders and a dash of controversy.
Can be deadly.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9.
Nothing says good morning like a drunken human alarm clock.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio.
We all know he loves the Florida Gators, but that's okay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
I can control the world.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Mostly cloudy tonight with a blustery wind out of the northeast at 13 miles per hour and temps near 33. Tomorrow morning, we will have some clouds and be cool at 41. Snowing lightly in the afternoon and evening at a high 42. A small chance of flurries in the early morning, followed by some sun Wednesday with a temp of 42. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
The next evolution in sports talk radio. It's the Afternoon Underdogs.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Weekdays from 4 till 6. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes, along with Coach Brian Haddad, James Fife in the building with us, and it's time for the PCB Hobby Takeover. Todd Mueller and Julia in the building with us. Want to tell you guys real quick about the Holland Hearts ESPN Northwest Florida Magic Express. You can win 2 passes to watch the Magic host the Sacramento Kings Saturday, March 29th from a luxury suite. Free food during the game. Your hotel's included in this ultimate road trip. All you got to do is go to the ESPN Northwest Florida app and crush the enter contest button. That's brought to you by PCB Hobby, and they are in the building with us. Todd, what's going on, my man?
Happy Monday, everybody. What's going on?
Seeing you from this side, you don't got to turn around.
I know. I don't want to turn around and go like this every time. We're doing really good. I'm tired. I'm just going to tell you guys straight out.
How often do you hear that, Julia?
He actually doesn't say it, but you know what? He looks it a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, I look a little tired.
Got some sleeping bags.
Yeah, little sleeping bags, I'm telling you what. Well, it's about to get cold. So obviously, the obvious is stay tuned for Snowmageddon 2025. Tomorrow, potentially starting around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. We could see some wintry mix. If, in fact, we do, PCB Hobby headquarters and PCB Hobby retail will be closed. We will close our doors, and we'll be back once the ice melts, which probably be later on Wednesday would be my guess. So,
if you can't tell, Todd was a weatherman in his previous life.
I was, yes.
Were you actually a meteorologist?
No.
Oh.
I'm just messing with you.
Well, you got me.
Just messing with you.
You got me. I was like, he's been doing this for a long time, man. So started at 8 and did it till 9?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, stay tuned for that. But for the most part, we are open. We're open right now, and make sure you come in and get all your stocked up stuff in case you're going to be shut in. Other than
all
that,
5 inches.
Yeah, all 5 inches.
They're shutting you in.
Yeah, exactly.
It is wild how we talk about it down here. Where it's like other people are like,
to be honest with you,
we put down more than 5 inches of salt.
1 to 5 inches here is 1 to 5 feet.
Exactly. Yeah. So just be aware of that. Other than that, Julia's got all kinds of information, so let's go and see what she's got to say.
Yeah, so organized play this week. On Thursday, we have Lorcana and One Piece. On Friday, we have Magic. On Saturday, we are doing free play, and it's actually going to be probably our last week of doing Saturday free play. As always, there's tables in the shop. You're welcome to come and play during, honestly, any time we're open. But our specific set time of free play this will be the last week.
And to be clear, that means it will not be past 6 o'clock on Saturday.
Gotcha. Yes. So we will firm close at 6 on Saturday.
I bet the employees are happy about that one, huh?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. And on Sunday, we do have Pokemon. A great time to test out the new set. I'm hearing that it's fire. Like, amazing.
Yeah, it's sold out everywhere.
Yeah,
let's be real. You can't buy it anywhere.
We may be holding a little bit of it, so when everyone else is out, come to us. We'll have some.
Good. There you go.
So yeah, as Todd mentioned, we will possibly be closing early tomorrow and Wednesday. Just keep a lookout on Instagram and Facebook. We'll keep you guys updated as soon as we know. As far as new releases, that Pokemon Prismatic Evolutions is out. We have a new Magic set coming out, I think, this Friday. It's Magic Aether Drift, which, what I've heard, it's like the GTA of Magic. So
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like kind of racing cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I know, it seems interesting.
Not the getting out of the car and beating people up.
No, not that part.
That's the part I know.
Sorry, yeah.
That's what we play the game for.
Sorry to disappoint.
Who let Brian in here?
Yeah.
There's a best of the weekend.
So we have that coming out and so many exclusive comic books. So many. So many for MegaCon.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
MegaCon, we'll talk about it here in a second when she's done, but we got so many books. We got so many.
That's why I'm so tired. And of course, follow us on eBay Live. We do streaming pretty much every day of the week, almost all hours of the day. So you can find us at PCB Hobby. We are streaming for sports cards, trading cards, comics, and coins. And keep up to date with everything that's going on at PCB Hobby on Facebook and Instagram.
So, speaking of exclusives, we are going to MegaCon in 2 weeks. That is down in Orlando, Florida. That is basically the kickoff of the year to comic cons throughout the country. They actually did have one, I believe, a week ago in New Orleans, which some people go to that, but it's not as big as MegaCon. The few big ones out there are Orlando, MegaCon, and then C2E2 in Chicago, New York, of course, at the end of the year, which we went to a few months ago, and San Diego, which is the Super Bowl of all cons. Anyways, we will be at MegaCon. We will have a table. We'll also have Josh Lyman, our resident artist, there at his table. When I say his table, still PCB Hobby, but he has a separate table for just signing and doing stuff like that. We're going to have a lot of great artists at our table, actually, and a lot of great books. I'm not going to tell you all the books because I don't want it a spoiler. There are some that people don't know about yet.
Ooh.
That will be just for MegaCon. But we do currently have out a book called Lucky Devils that Josh Lyman did for us. And then we also will soon, everybody knows about this one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 6, number 6 from the reboot, Josh Lyman did. And we have several others that we're going to be doing or that are dropping as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. MegaCon's going to be out of this world. We're bringing a whole crew, doing all kinds of stuff.
We're going to have artist streams where they do signatures, remarks, all that jazz. Yep. We're going to have signings at the booth with Joe Doyle,
Marco Mastrazo, Josh Lyman, and there could be a hidden one or two other people in there.
Coach Haddad.
That'll be me.
Definitely
I'll be
won't
drawing the stick figures.
Yeah.
I just say definitely won't be Coach. We also just got finished with a artist spotlight this weekend. Saturday and Sunday we had Dave Dorman. Dave Dorman is an older fellow, but he's also OG Star Wars. So he did a lot of Star Wars covers and a lot of stuff for Hasbro, which means he did a ton of Magic cards. I believe he has 122 different Magic cards out there that he actually did the artwork for. So that's really cool. We're starting to gain a relationship and build up a relationship with him, and he's starting to come out and visit and do artist streams, and we may even get him to the shop to start talking Magic and be able to sign Magic singles and kind of show up to represent what he's done over the years. So it's really cool. Cool guy, fun guy. Anyways, had a good time streaming. Him and Big Kern, who was on last weekend, on last Monday, got to stream last night and the night before, and it was very successful. We had a lot of original art from him, a lot of cool paintings he did, just a lot of prints and different stuff like that, and of course comic books. Yep. So check us out for that. Also, in the coming weeks, we will have another Star Wars / toy show. Coach Haddad and Big Kern will be doing that. So that'll be fun. It'll most likely be a Wednesday evening. So
there you go.
We'll have to tune in.
That thing was like hotcakes last time.
Oh my God.
If you want to get you a bit of Star Wars,
10 minutes ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was great though. I mean, we had so much fun, and for any of you who were involved in that, we have more stuff, and it's
Absolutely.
pretty cool.
The boys just got back from last weekend from a show in Daphne, Alabama. It was the Gulf Coast Card Show, and had a fantastic time. They all had a good time, bought a lot of stuff. So we have a lot of new Pokemon and sports card inventory. I even heard Josh in there this morning selling singles and all day on the PCB Hobby live feed for eBay. So that was cool.
Josh said this was like one of his favorite shows.
Yeah, they had such a good time, and it was organized by my old business partner, Nathan Caraway. So I want to give a shout out to Nathan. Good job, buddy. You crushed it again.
Oh my! It's as many people as I've ever seen.
Yeah,
at a
That's
Daphne
awesome.
show,
Yeah,
and it was great, and a lot of action. I mean, people are going to buy stuff. A lot of people are going to sell stuff. It was great action, and it was really cool. I mean, it was a good time. That the facility worked great. We had a couple years ago, a little air conditioning issue, but no, it was fantastic.
Speaking of sports cards, anything new coming out, Brian?
Yeah, actually, so there's some new releases. It's not a huge week for new releases, but we have a lot of new stuff in the store that's just going to come through. One of the things that's difficult when you have the winter weather up north is sometimes it will disrupt supply lines.
Right.
And so there were a few products delayed, but we have basically every format of Prism football just in time for, the championship weekend. Absolute football, where everybody's looking for the kabooms and the Jaden Daniels cards. Those are all in. On the basketball front, we have high-end National Treasures basketball, which is one of the biggest products of the year. We've got that in. WNBA products, Prism Monopoly, Select. You can go chasing the Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese's. Topps Definitive Baseball landed today. One of the highest end products. Absolutely gorgeous cards in there. Those are in. As for new releases, Topps Finest Basketball, this is actually from, quote, last year's class, so the Victor Wembanyama rookie class. Remember, Victor autographs exclusively for Fanatics, so autographs of Victor Wembanyama are in this Topps product. So it's another nice one that's out there. On the horizon, we've got Topps Chrome Football coming next month. We got Prism WNBA coming next month, and believe it or not, February 12th, Topps Series 1 2025 Baseball drops. And for the first time in a decade, Barry Bonds will have live autographs that you can pack pull.
That's amazing.
So, I mean, it's a big deal. So there's a lot of cool stuff that's just now in the shop. I mean, the wax wall has been replenished from the baseball tournaments, really whipped us, but it has been replenished, and we have as many different products in there as I've ever seen, and a lot of new singles from the show. So a lot of cool stuff to come check out this week.
Awesome. I'm going to take a little page from David here. Prediction: who's winning the Super Bowl, David?
Oh, Super Bowl. That
Super
one's
Bowl.
tough. I just can't see anyone beating the Chiefs. Not even just the fact of the rest. I would rather see the Bills there, but I think that the Chiefs are just too strong in every single facet of the game. And, Travis Kelce's heating up right now. The connection between him and Patrick Mahomes is insane. So I'll go Chiefs taking care of the Bills in a very close game, possibly overtime. And then I would like to see the Commanders win.
Thank you.
I was
hoping.
I would like to, but it's the same situation.
I'm taking the Commanders in the Super Bowl. That's what I'm going.
Commanders winning the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I'm going all the way.
And that would be great for
Here's
business.
why. Let me tell you. Well, it'd be interesting, but no, it wouldn't be great for business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, because I think we're sitting on a card that we need the Chiefs to win.
Well, a couple, but yeah.
As growing up, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So I grew up in Oregon, and Washington was the state above us, obviously. Come on.
I see where this is going.
I grew up loving the Washington Redskins because I thought they were from the state of Washington, and they were the closest football team to us. Little did I know. Yeah, I was not too smart. Washington, D.C.
Oh, no, Julia still thought that.
Yeah, Washington, D.C. is where the Redskins were from.
Well, clearly it's in the DNA.
Now you know why you get that. Gotcha. So I love the Washington Redskins growing up. So I got to go for the Washington Commanders because technically that was my team.
Yeah.
So
that's a great reason to pull for it.
And of course, Jaden Daniels. I think that would be good for the shop. I don't know how much Jaden Daniels stuff we're sitting on.
Got enough.
Yeah.
But it's been all bought. There's a lot there, but we need more.
Brian, who do you pick?
I'm going to just be different. I got a funny feeling about the Eagles this year. I like how tough they are down the stretch when they need to step. A little worried about Jalen Hurts' health here going forward, but
that could be huge for the Commanders.
Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, they've got a bunch of different ways to beat you. They're, seasoned. They've been in the big games. I'm just going to be different. I'm going to take the Eagles to win it all.
All right, sounds good. Julie, I'll ask you anyways.
I can't put any input.
Okay,
I'll
no
just
problem.
go on your team.
All right, Washington, there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Or as I call them, the Washington Commies.
The Washington Commies.
That would be the team who I would want to win the Super Bowl the most.
Yeah.
Commanders.
Oh, it would be
Bills.
a great story.
I know what's going to happen. The Chiefs are going to win, and here's why. And this is unfortunately what the industry really is about money, because everything's about money, and it's about greatness and in line with that money of greatness. And so, of course, there's going to be a three-peat in the Super Bowl, the first time ever. We'll be put down as the greatest team ever. But the funny thing is, even though I dislike as much as I like Pretty Boy Brady, he's still going to be the best quarterback ever. I don't really care what they say about Patrick Mahomes. Good quarterback, but not lucky quarterback. That's all I got to say. I think the guy is lucky. He's just a really lucky guy, which is great, and that's awesome. But Travis Kelce really probably is the best tight end in the game, and ever will be.
I know it's none of the same players, but if there's a heart pick, it's got to be the Bills. Especially our age.
You're talking about the
Eagles. 4 losses in a row.
And you're talking about the Eagles, especially our age, right? Remember in the 90s? They'd get there every time and they'd lose. It was so hard, You
wanted them to get one.
You wanted them to get one. Yeah. So anyway, for Josh Allen's sake, I think his stuff is I feel underrated and has been underrated for a long time. It's been good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's been as great as it should have been. Ultimately. So, anyways, I hope the Bills actually do make it in, but unfortunately, I hope the Commanders beat them.
And the shop hopes the Chiefs win.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. What's our estimate of Taylor Swift shots?
Oh, jeez, I don't even want to talk about it. That's another thing.
Just make her perform at halftime because
they didn't show her that much in the last game.
Well, at the beginning they did. They had her walking in.
It was enough because Caitlin Clark was up there too, and they made sure to show that.
So it was crazy, but. So that's, I just figured it'd be fun to talk about Super Bowl coming up. Yeah. The unfortunate thing for us is Super Bowl Sunday is the weekend of MegaCon.
Oh.
Go figure, a bunch of comic nerds don't give a hoot about, and I do. So we're actually not going to stream that day. We're not going to stream on Sunday in Orlando. We're going to all have a Super Bowl party. We'll have a Super Bowl party and watch Super Bowl.
Brian, I bet you can feel this, but one year my birthday was on the Super Bowl. And no attention.
I don't even remember it was your birthday.
Exactly. Yeah.
I didn't even remember. This year it's even funnier. We're leaving to go down to Orlando during her birthday. So it's not Super Bowl, but now it's the Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Which
hobby
one,
always comes first.
Which one is okay? Which one is more okay to you, though? Like the Super Bowl? Oh, the Comic-Con?
Yeah, because it's about making some money.
Yeah.
The other one
There
was
you
just
go.
watching a football
Helps
game.
get the present.
Yeah, exactly.
You notice how silent I'm staying right now.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be on our bad side,
I
Brian.
don't want to be in that hole you're in.
Yeah.
It's a little crowded in there.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'll keep digging. Anyways, so that's what's going on right now at PCB Hobby. We do have a culture collision on Sunday, which is in Atlanta.
Friday,
Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah,
it's going to be big. That's in Atlanta, TCGs and Sports Cards.
Oh,
we're going to be there doing that.
Gotcha.
And then the next weekend, like I said, we're going to kick off next week. The week after that, we will kick off in Orlando for the Comic-Con. So we got a lot going on. Again, we're still back with coins. We got tons of new coins. If you haven't checked out our coin stream, you better do it ASAP because we got all kinds of new stuff going down on there. And we will have new stuff for the weeks to come.
And y'all will be streaming tomorrow.
We are going to be streaming tomorrow. There are going to be a few of our select players going to stay that live real close.
So if the screen, is buffering and it looks like it's frozen, just hit refresh, right?
Hit refresh. That should be it, right?
There you go. Just
Let's
had to
hope
get
we
the
don't
frozen
have any
pun in there.
Yeah, hopefully, exactly. Hopefully, it doesn't do anything to the internet.
Yeah, no doubt. It was more about. I just wanted to say the word frozen. We can let it go.
We tried to exactly. Let's just move
Wow.
forward. Yeah, wow.
Wow, I caught that.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
caught it.
I know you did.
All right.
Go back behind the glass.
Yeah.
I still have a microphone back there, Coach. All right. Hey, guys, thanks so much for stopping by. It's been an absolute happy Monday. National Championship, who you got tonight in that one, Todd?
Didn't even realize it was tonight.
Notre Dame, Ohio State.
No, I hope Notre Dame wins. I don't like Ohio State. Never liked them. I don't know why. But
same boat. We are in the same boat,
Notre
Captain.
Dame, let's go.
All right. Well, you guys are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Make sure that you go check out PCB Hobby in the physical location, then also in the internet locations. Just type in PCB Hobby and get some of them coins and bring them to me. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're right back after this.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the NFL.
Touchdown, Denver!
We bring you the biggest games every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night.
Oh, he's got the first down!
Plus, we'll broadcast more college football games than ever before.
He did what?
Live NFL and college football play here.
Unbelievable!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Mostly cloudy tonight with a blustery wind out of the northeast at 13 miles per hour and temps near 33. Tomorrow morning, we will have some clouds and be cool at 41. Snowing lightly in the afternoon and evening at a high 42. A small chance of flurries in the early morning, followed by some sun Wednesday with a temp of 42. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200-plus entertainment and news networks, or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $42 a month when you use the promo code ESPNNW at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
Fighting Irish.
Everybody would ask me why I came to Notre Dame. The
truth is I came here to win a national championship.
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
You'll be a Buckeye legend for life. How does that sound?
I just want to win a national championship. The College Football Playoff National Championship, presented by AT&T.
The stakes get much higher.
Hit by Sawyer, ball's loose. Sawyer comes up with it.
Intercepted by Christian Bray of Notre Dame.
Coverage coming up today at 6 on your home for college football. ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Often imitated, never duplicated. The official sports station of the Panhandle. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is the final segment of the afternoon here on the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hayes along with Coach Brian
CM Punk.
Oh, yeah, there you go, man. How's Raw on Netflix been for the 2 weeks that we've had it?
The first show was very theatrical, like you'd expect the first. Bring all the big names out and boo Hulk Hogan out of the building and whatever happened there. But this past week, man, they really got after it. It was a great show. The thing that's so good about it is they're not tied to a time frame.
Yeah.
So it never feels like they're having to fill. It never feels like they're having to
Do they
rush.
ever go to commercials?
Oh, God, yes. That's the one bad thing. They have way too many
I was just wondering because of Netflix.
No.
So Netflix is
well,
bringing
live,
in
if you're watching it live,
yeah.
But no, way too many commercials. But they are not bound by the hard out anymore, and that actually has freed it up. And I think giving them a freedom they need.
Oh, there you go, James. You've been enjoying Raw on Netflix?
I don't have the Netflix, and I'm not sure what the Raw is.
All right. Raw is war, my friend. Raw is war.
Raw was like that hockey game in Pensacola this last week.
Yeah, at the goalie fight. That was supposed to be my best of the week. No. I already went over it. I forgot about it. I'm glad that you brought it up, though.
I missed that one. I was at the Sunday game. No goalie fights that game. But
I think it was a Saturday evening.
Yeah, one of my greatest memories. Mobile used to have a minor league hockey team called the Mystics, which, by the way, they're tearing down the Civic Center. I found that out.
Really?
It's like half destroyed, which has probably been destroyed for 20 years. But anyway, one of the best games I ever went to, Mobile's winning like 5-2. And so you think everybody be happy. There's probably 2,000 people there this first season. And the entire arena is booing because there's been no fight. And the players clearly understood what was going on. At the final horn, every player on the ice dropped gloves, went at it. The place went nuts. It's one of the best memories I have.
Well, there you go. Boston Tim texting in says Raw was, I think he said amazing was the word.
Yeah, this
that
past
he
week
used.
was excellent.
But he said, for someone who hasn't watched it in 25 years, he said Raw was awesome. From someone who hasn't watched in 25 years. Do you think Ohio State covers 9 points tonight against Notre Dame, Coach Siegel?
It's going to be a 1-point game.
1 point game.
No, I mean 1 point difference.
Yes.
I don't mean 1-0.
Yeah,
that'd be impressive.
That's a forfeit.
I don't know how that would happen.
Forfeit, right? That's the only way that
forfeit.
can happen.
I think Ohio State ought to forfeit.
All right, well, there you go. You heard it here first. Ohio State's forfeiting.
I'm going to give you my answer right now. Cheer, cheer for old Notre Dame. Shout out around her, bring in her name. Send a thunder way up high. Shake down the lightning from the sky.
I think Coach Haddad would have rather heard Rocky Top.
No,
right
never. Never.
That good old
How about
Rocky
Machine Gun Kelly saying, West Virginia, take me home?
Anything is better than Rocky
There you
Top.
go. Look at Coach Siegel over here getting hit for the 2025 football season.
Yeah. Look, I said this morning. The only worry I have for Ohio State is since the Michigan loss, obviously it has snapped them into laser focus, and that's been fun to watch. But if you notice, the 3 games in the playoffs, they have gotten out really fast.
Yeah.
And that gives you that level of confidence. And when you've done it that many times, if they don't get out fast tonight, I kind of wonder if they start to worry in their heads, like, wait a minute, is this going to be a Michigan? Because when you've taken a rough beating like they did, and then all of a sudden, for the first time, you're not out fast, I worry a little bit about their mindset if this game stays tight early. That's where I think Notre Dame can get them. That being said, I kind of expect Ohio State to get out fast again. I just think they're a solid football team.
Not so fast.
Okay.
All right.
Here's why. Ohio State's been in 3 wars these 3 games. It has not been gimmies.
That's correct.
Notre Dame has been in 1 war.
Yeah.
They're fresher, their legs are underneath them, and I don't know that Penn State fought the whole 4 quarters. I thought they came out on fire and were punching them in the mouth, and Notre Dame flinched and backed up, and then they, they pulled a Leahy, Rockne, whatever they did at halftime, and came out as all Notre Dame good teams do, and came back out. But they hadn't been in wars through these playoffs. They kind of had a little bit of different path than Ohio State. Ohio State's seasoned.
Yeah.
But
were the wins against Tennessee and Oregon really wars? I mean, they put up a lot of points, but they won by a lot of points, too.
But physicality,
okay.
Those are SEC teams. Yeah. And Oregon's basically
Well, what about Georgia
team.
and Notre Dame?
I mean, did Georgia actually play hard?
No.
I mean, I'm not trying to tick off all the Bulldog fans like that one guy did, but, you know, I could care less about Georgia Bulldogs, to be honest. I've been saying that all year to you, too.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you that they're fresher, and in their regular season, they did not go through what Ohio State went through.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to make fun of Notre Dame.
No, we're all on the same page.
But, I mean, and they lost to Northern Illinois, which was not like they got physically punched in the face.
Yeah.
They just were looking past. And Ohio State's got a lot better schedule they've played. And you start taking all those body blows all year round, eventually your ribs get sore.
Yeah.
Notre Dame hasn't taken that all year. They haven't played the same schedule. And that's for debate later on, like Coach Saban said, then they shouldn't be here. But, you know, the other thing is this, and I'll say these names: Rockne, Parseghian, Devine, Leahy, Holtz, Freeman. So I'm going to say.
Well, okay. I think,
and to your point,
get the correlation there.
To your point, there was not it wasn't promoted enough, but Clemson, the 2 years that they won the national championship, they showed that of all the playoff teams, their starters had played the fewest snaps because exactly what you're talking about, and that actually played a huge factor that nobody harped on at the time.
No, I am slightly worried about the quarterback because I know he's been donged in the head, and you can say what you want. He was concussed last week and came back out.
Leonard?
Yeah, I mean, he was ding-dong, ding-dong, cuckoo for cuckoo puffs.
Which quarterback do you guys give the edge to when it comes to Riley Leonard or Will Howard out of Ohio State?
I think Howard has more ability. Yeah. Leonard is not asked to do as much, and thus he's not necessarily in as risky predicament as Howard could get himself. I think Howard is more susceptible to turning the ball over.
He is, but Howard might be a little more durable than probably Leonard. Howard's a big cat.
Yeah, he is. He is.
If you look at him, you don't think quarterback, you think tight end.
Yeah.
So, that's a different situation. I think Leonard's more of a mailman. He's delivering and kind of doing things out. But I heard somebody say last week, I got to give this guy credit. I was talking to the ref while we were supposed to be paying attention during match. He's a Penn State grad, and he's literally got the phone on. So while I'm coaching and he's reffing, we were watching the game.
Sure.
and like he would make a call, go out of bounds, and look at me, and I'd go like this or this. For Notre Dame was winning, thumb up. Notre Dame was winning, thumb down. The other guys with white helmets were winning, and we were going back and forth. But he made a comment. He goes, "If Penn State lets Leonard stick around and get a chance in the third, fourth quarter, it's when he shines." Howard shines early.
Yeah.
He inflicts his will early and then kind of maintains at the end.
Yeah.
He's like that kid that comes out in the 400 meters, great start, and just holds it through it.
Yeah.
And I think Riley Leonard's more of a guy that lays back like the Nigerians do in the marathon.
Yeah.
Lay back and then they get that big kick at the end, and that's the difference in this game right there.
There you go.
Track.
Track. I love all of the analogies that we're getting here. Boston Sims got Ohio State by 17. James, what do you think when it comes to the spread, Notre Dame, Ohio State? Does Ohio State win by 9 or more? Or
I think
Notre
it's going to be closer than a 9-point game. I'm not big on either team. I got no dog in this fight. I'm probably going to have this on the smaller screen television while I'm watching hockey tonight. That tells you how important the game is to me. But I do believe it will be an Ohio State win. I'm going to say it's going to be somewhere around the field goal range in terms of point spread.
This game ain't going to start till daggum 7 o'clock.
Well, I'm going to throw this at both you guys. A little game trivia to both you guys.
All right,
ready?
here we go.
When's the last time we had a national championship game with neither team has a decal on their helmet or logo?
The whole game?
They don't have logos.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Does a number count as a...
Alabama has a logo. It's a number.
Okay, that's what.
Okay.
Well, because I was going to say Alabama, Notre Dame.
Well, I was going to say, or Alabama, Penn State, obviously, but I've forgotten the Notre Dame.
Because you don't have that many options, so it's got to be...
I think this is the only time that both teams...
Yeah.
So just that one team didn't?
If you go
one
way
team
back...
you have, but both teams...
that's where I'm...
If you go way back, a lot of those games weren't true national championship games, because you might have one
like it was the Orange Bowl
or
and stuff like that. But You start looking at the helmets. I mean, you got the beautiful gold with the golden metallic flake in it that's sprayed every week. And then you got the choke eyes with the marijuana leaves on the back of their helmets. And, you know.
Fake gold and marijuana. Here we go.
Hey,
this could be right out of South Beach.
Yeah. We're playing Grand Theft Auto again. All right. Oh, man. Let's see.
Shapiro sponsoring this game, the guy from Miami?
Exactly. Nevin Shapiro. Yeah, that's right.
How do the Irish defend Jeremiah Smith, the top running back in the nation?
That's a tough situation.
By getting to Howard.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you make it one-dimensional game and make it where I mean, can you make Ohio State one-dimensional with that wideout?
And then they got two prolific running backs as well, and Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, so good luck.
But I'll tell you what, the edge and the kicker a couple weeks ago when Nada went to Notre Dame.
Right, but now they got Jeter.
To Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Does this game come down to a field goal for them to win by 1 point?
If it does, then we'll be getting out a little bagpipes and going cheer, cheer for Notre Dame.
Well, I guess we know, but I guess it could change at halftime. My thought coming into this: does Notre Dame don the green jerseys tonight?
Well,
no way.
You can see right there that they are wearing them.
Yeah. They're wearing the green jerseys?
Yeah, I thought they were just wearing them a second ago.
Well, they were showing a highlight of something.
Oh, that might have been what fooled me.
I don't think they're going to wear the green jerseys. They are the home team, so I think you'll have Ohio State in their regular whites.
1977 Cotton Bowl, when they needed it, they pulled out the green jerseys, and Joe Montana led a big victory. Just thought I'd throw that out.
What's the answer to the helmet question?
This is the only time.
This is the only time. Oh my goodness!
You think about it
for a loop. Yeah, there's no one else.
Someone's always got a logo. At least one of the teams. Penn State does not.
Yeah,
Alabama had numbers, but we're calling that a logo.
Yeah, if we're going to call that a logo, which
all they got is their little, like I said,
we're out of time for today. We're out of time. Coach Siegel, thanks so much for stopping by. Coach Brian Haddad, James Fife. I'm David Hayes. Hey, the blue jerseys are on. National championship coverage starts right now, and then the kick at 6:30. Just remember, Jesus loves you. So do I. Y'all have a great evening. Be safe.
Titan stink.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the College Football National Championship.
75 yards! Wow!
It's the Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus the Ohio State Buckeyes.